to open up a session of Congress. The Congress of the United States of America never opens except is opened by a Jewish rabbi or a Christian minister beginning with an invocation. For the first time in the history of our country, a Muslim opened up a session of Congress, and that was Imam Siraj Wahhaj in 1991. And when I went as a Muslim, proud to be a Muslim. I don't have to dress like this. I could have put a suit and tie on, and that's perfectly okay. But I went the way I always go. I go like this is who I am, and I went and opened up a session of Congress, and someone said to me, Imam Siraj, aren't you honored that you open up a session of Congress? I said, no, they're honored to have me. No, I didn't say it in disrespect. And one of the congressmen on the floor of the Congress said, we are honored to have Imam Siraj Wahhaj to open up a session of Congress. Muslims can change their name. I changed my name from a Christian name to a Muslim name. I wasn't born with the name Siraj Wahhaj. I took that name Siraj Wahhaj. While we have Muslims going in the opposite direction, changing the Muslim names that God gave them or their parents gave them and changing it to American names, somehow changing their identity. This is why I have a great affinity for sisters who wear hijab. Because these sisters, mashallah, when they come out wearing hijab, everybody in the world know that they're Muslim. She stands out there every day in the public with this identifying clothing, with this hijab, some niqab, and they are Muslim, and everyone know they're Muslim. But everyone don't know every man is a Muslim who's not dressed like a Muslim. Don't get me wrong. I come from the verse of Quran, وَلِبَاسُ التَّقْوَى ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ. And the dress of righteousness, that's the best. You don't have to look like this. You don't have to look like you're from Saudi or Pakistan or anything like that. You can be a Muslim, you know, with American. You understand what I mean? American. You understand what I mean, right? So I'm not against that. But having this identity, this Islamic identity, this Muslim identity. And I would argue that the best Muslim identity is not your dress, but your character. Be a Muslim. Act like a Muslim. If you're the only Muslim in your school, you be the best person in that school, the best student in that school. If you're the only Muslim in your neighborhood, then you be the best neighbor. There should be no better neighbor than you as a Muslim. So while Muslims could change their faith, some leave the faith of Islam, but as black people, we couldn't hide the fact that we were black. What's the difference between the struggle of the Muslims now in America compared to the struggle of the African Americans, night and day? I have never heard in America of one Muslim who was lynched, though you have thousands of black people lynched. And let me tell you about some laws, brother. You're talking about looking at women. Do you know they had on the law book what is called reckless eyeballing? You know what reckless eyeballing is? A black man looking at a white woman can go to jail for staring at a white woman. It's called reckless eyeballing. In those days, black people suffered from what they call institutionalized racism. Muslims, if you study Muslims in America right now, many Muslims have the highest rate of employment, income. They go to any schools. Muslims go to some of the greatest schools, the best schools in America. It wasn't like that for black people. Black people couldn't get jobs because they were black. Black people couldn't go to certain schools. They had to bring the United States Army to escort black people to force them to go to school, forced integration.